welcome back, Guardians. Okay, another round of effort. So go ahead and let's start the timer right now. Let's see how long it takes to get into a match of Team Scorched. Because it is such a popular mode. Yeah. Oh, what are we doing? We are trying to complete this. There is 67 more matches to play or activities to do, or I can get 33 wins, or roughly 50 or so, 45 to 50 or so activities is what I have left. And I mean, what is it? 49 days. So if I just do one thing a day, I'll get the catalyst before the end of the season. Um, yeah, I don't know what the fuck Bungie is expecting out of us. It almost kind of feels like they're sabotaging the game and deliberately letting it slide the way it is because they know it's in a holding pattern until it dies. Basically, it's bought itself a timeshare in Florida and is just hanging out in God's waiting room, which is what we used to joke about Florida being like I think as far back as the 70s. Look it up. Maybe it's earlier. Maybe it's later. I don't know. I heard the joke said from a comedian in the late 80s. So I'm imagining that it is a 70s thing. But yeah, it's not a bad game. I mean, when I first came to Destiny, the way the guy at the uh, store was selling it to me, was how he was talking about. He asked me what I played, and at the time I was playing Skyrim and a host of other little, shooters, and I was also playing Halo. And he says, okay, so it's made by the same people who made Halo, which is how my wife introduced it to me because originally my first experience with Bungie was with Oni, and I think on the PlayStation 2, and I loved it. It was basically a Ghost in the Shell clone. So you played a Motoko Kusanagi style character, who had all this like wall climbing and because parkour was a big thing in the game's design at the time, and so I really loved it and played it a lot. Played all the different difficulty levels and things like that. And then when Halo came out, she said, "Hey, Halo's on Xbox, and it's made by Bungie, the same people you liked with Oni." And I was like, "Hey, that's a cool idea." Um, so I bought Halo, and then of course, I already had an Xbox. I had bought the Xbox originally to play Tron 2.0, which was originally on my laptop, but my laptop didn't have the processing power and graphics cards to support it. I could play it, but it was like fucking horrible, horrible, horrible lag. Um, and But I really wanted to finish the game, and so I got it on Xbox, and it was great. I was able to get through the game, and I enjoyed it. Um, but at the time, I was one of those is like once you play something, it's kind of like it's done like that. A game like Tron 2.0, like so many other of the single player narrative games, because once it's done, it's done. You don't really want to. You don't really. I didn't have the compulsion to want to play it again. There wasn't anything about the game that made me want to come back to it, as opposed to say something like Halo, where it was like, oh, cool, midair. Whereas a game like Halo, there was a lot of replayability in it, and not just through different levels of difficulty. What are we doing? Okay, we're losing. That's what we're doing. Um, I don't know why Team Scorch is so fucking stupid. I like it because it seems like it takes less time. That's what I was looking for. I'm looking for an activity that I can do that won't take long. Because win or lose, I'm looking at least 50 or so. Oh fuck, dude. Okay, whatever. I don't like crossplay. Especially, I don't like it when there's like, people who can play with fucking third-party accelerators and nobody's there to fucking stop it. I wonder who is in the lobby. I bet it's mostly PlayStation, right? Oh fuck no. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, about half, more than half. I'm sure some of them are on our side. Warlocks. Why do we actually? I mean, it doesn't matter at this late stage in the game. I'm all the time going on. This is like, why are we even allowing extra character classes? When it's obvious that everybody just would prefer to play warlocks or titans. You don't really have. Did you know that historically the thief was not an original character class from the first D&D game? It was actually a homebrew, a hack, as we would call it now in the game sphere. And it was because this player wanted to be able to pick locks instead of, because originally you had a strength score, you had a modifier, you had a number, you could force the door on a 1 or 6, and at a higher strength score you could do it on a 1 or 2 off of a D6. And this player at this game, I can't remember the names, but that's how you get the cultural reference here. He was like, well, what if I just pick the lock? And the DM was like, okay, yeah, I guess you could try to do that. And then they sat around and at this table created this this character ability, and then it got into a magazine. Gygax and Arneson saw it and picked it up and said, this is a really cool idea. And so I don't know if that guy was ever credited. I don't think that guy was ever. I think the Dungeon Master and the player who came up with it and published it in this like little hobby magazine didn't really ever get full credit for it. But that's what it is. And like I said, I mean, if originally, like I said, Destiny was sold to me as this RPG open world experience, and it was like, wow, that guy would not die. Fuck me, Challenger 7000. Please be PlayStation. Of course you're not. It's all bullshit, dude. It really is. Huh. Well, I think Team Scorch, as unappealing as it might be for me, might be the one I want to do. But then again, I mean, I have a higher chance of winning in Crucible. I mean, normal Crucible like Control. So, and that's a flat 10 minutes regardless. Yeah. Oh, went the wrong way. At least I got some loot. Oh, that's the other thing too. Yeah, see, that's all there is. That took 8 minutes. So, Scorch takes 8 minutes. Okay. Ooh, Green Knight. Best dressed. And the nominee for Playmaker goes to Knight. Right? I don't need this. What the fuck am I doing with this in my hands? Let's make sure my Ghost Shell has things I can do. At least all I can do is farm some legendary gear. So yeah, it looks like Crucible will be the way to go because Gambit is too unpredictable, and so are Vanguard strikes. I can't get out of the lobby. I want to get out of the lobby. Thank you. Yeah, I'd rather take an extra minute or two and actually have a better chance of winning. Oh, no. See, they're not fixing anything. There's just no point to fix it because the game's gone. It's over, really, technically. It's just the last 2 years of lip service, and that's all there is to it. You ever feel like you're trapped? That's the way it feels right now. And I think that's what the consensus of the community is that we're not complaining so much about the fact that there isn't anything worth coming back to in the game. It's just that we've gone so far, and there's no point in leaving now because it's just another year and a half or so of play, and then the game resolves. And might as well be there for that since you've invested all these years in it anyway. And I'm like, damn it, that's kind of true. It's kind of like quitting your job 5 years before retirement. Just take the 5 years, but then you spend those 5 years with such a shitty quality of life. You're just trapped, and you don't want that feeling. And that's what it is. That's what's coming out of the community right now, is this feeling of entrapment, that you're like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. And people just talk trash constantly about the PvP, yet it is the majority of the activity in the game. Almost everything you can do to speed up progress is through Crucible, or through Crucible. And I don't know. I guess that's what it is. But I mean, like I said, I bought the game Destiny 1, and I approached it like an open world explorer, like Skyrim. I was aware that there were other people in the game. Destiny was actually my first multiplayer online game, not a massive multiplayer online game. I didn't play an MMORPG like World of Warcraft. I've never played anything like that. But it was my first multiplayer online game, and it was almost a good month before I did the Vault of Glass, the raid, and realized that this was the core of the game experience. You trained yourself and you practiced with Crucible and with Vanguard Ops or Strikes, and you leveled up through bounties, and you collected the gear, and you were trying to get the best weapons you could get and all that stuff. And then you took all that to the raid, and at that time in Destiny, the raids were a reward for your effort. They were. It wasn't a circular argument like, you do the raid so you could do the raid better kind of shit. It wasn't like that. It was, you do the raid to get these other weapons so that you can grow your character. And, also at the time we were allowed to have multiple copies of the same character. So if you wanted to main a Titan, you could run 3 Titans. And they could help, elevate each other faster and faster. So it was a harmonic, positive harmonic, loop. And it was good gameplay. And then things started changing, and they realized that, people were complaining about there being not enough to do, which I think is stupid, because, I mean, there's so much to do. And when I came to that realization, like, like I mentioned before, it was about 3 years ago, I think it was Forsaken. I looked at the game and I was like, what this really is? It's like, it's about an hour's worth of campaign, linear campaign, to set you up for the story, for the environment, and then it's just a host of mini games. And how is that a bad thing? That's not a bad thing. Wow, that is seriously lag. Shadow Koopa. Yeah. Xbox, of course. Seriously, bro. I did hit the reload button here, so I don't know why you're taking so long. Right. Wow.
Zone C lost. Your enemy has a power play. You're falling behind. Captured Zone A.
guy was able to shoot me through a wall? Eh? Yeah, okay. Yeah, whatever, guys.